So there's actually a quote that I heard recently, and I don't know it verbatim, but it goes something like this. Do you chase success in order to be happy, or does success chase you because you're happy? This is something that is really relevant to me right now, and I think it's very important for me to open up discussion about this sort of thing. For those of you that don't know, I myself have been going to therapy for the past few months. I was diagnosed with PTSD a long time ago, and I don't want to dive into that. If we need a video on something like that in the future, we can talk about it. But along with that, for the past 3 years, I've been, building this community, and we do a lot of support, one-on-one support within my Discord server. I used to spend a lot of time every single day answering questions and just literally obsessing over the content that I create. And it took me 3 years of doing that to find out that I was living in a very, very unhealthy way. And not only did I realize that I was living in a very unhealthy way, I realized that I actually wasn't happy. And I was chasing after the idea of happiness because I had it in my mind that in order to be happy, my cat just meowed, in order to be happy, I needed to chase after this ideal of accomplishment, of success, of being great. And that thing would make me happy. And in fact, it was the very obsession with that ideal that made me extremely stressed, extremely depressed, and extremely just a bad person to loved ones around me. And I've done a complete 180. I've been in therapy. I've been really focusing on this specific issue regarding my life. And I wanted to open up the discussion of mental health with you guys. When it comes to being a content creator, I see it everywhere. People literally obsessing over the idea of being a creator, being a YouTuber, being a Twitch streamer, being an Instagram or a vlogger or a blogger or building a business, this or that, just obsessing over the greatness of becoming the next Logic or Kendrick Lamar. And that very obsession is destroying your life. So let's talk about it. This is something that I started telling a lot of the people around me, especially in my inner circle, regarding content creation. And when people reach out to me asking for advice, I always tell them that content creation is a subset of a happy life. It isn't the direction or the path to a happy life. In fact, it is the result of living a happy life. If you're a happy person and you enjoy making content and you enjoy doing this sort of thing, then it brings more value to your life as an already happy individual. Something that I learned through therapy and through reading a bunch of books regarding mental health over the past several months, because I've really been trying to hone in on this issue regarding mental health, especially when it comes to, content creation and business owners and this sort of thing, is the fact that happiness requires literally nothing but yourself. You cannot reach out into the world and get happiness. Happiness comes from within. You as an individual can be happy every single day, regardless of all the crap that's going on around you. You could be in the worst situation possible and still be a happy person, because happiness comes from how you think about things, how you approach life, and how you go about your day. So we're going to talk a little bit about what it means to be a happy person versus someone that's living through a negative mindset, what the two lives or two mindsets look like essentially, and how you get from point A to point B, B being the place of happiness if you're in a place of obsession, negative thoughts, dark thoughts, that sort of thing. If you are in need of serious help, guys, I am not a therapist. I am not making this video to give you therapy. This video is not over therapy. It's simply talking about the topics of mental health, especially regarding content creation. If you need help, definitely reach out to a registered or a licensed therapist that can actually assist you through your problems. I hope that this video gets you thinking about your own lifestyle, your own life, and how you're living it regarding whether or not you're actually happy And if you aren't, I highly suggest reaching out to somebody and getting some professional help. So the two things we want to talk about is living a healthy life versus living an unhealthy life when it comes to content creation. So a healthy creator versus an unhealthy creator. A healthy creator is going to approach their content as something that brings them joy. They enjoy doing it, and it happens to make them some money. Now, you can have goals. It is super healthy to have goals built around your business or your idea of content creation. But if it becomes an obsession or something that is driving your life, then you might reconsider the way you're thinking about it or your approach to that goal or ideal. Right? I have many goals. I don't want to list them all, but I'm building a consulting and brand business. I have a goal. I want to be on the cover of Forbes. I have some pretty lofty, big goals, right? That I intend to accomplish, right? And every day I'm taking steps toward those goals. I'm doing the things that I know in my mind are going to help me reach those goals. And that is what brings me joy in my life and adds to the overall happy existence that I have. An unhealthy creator is literally going to be obsessive over creating. They're going to obsess over how many views each video gets. They're going to obsess over how frequently they need to post because they're not posting enough in order to achieve this false ideal or irrational ideal of happiness that they have in their mind. They're going to obsess over every little detail of every single video or every single post that they make. They're going to be extremely hard on themselves. They're never going to appreciate the work that they create. They're never going to tell themselves that, that was a good video, that was successful, and here's why. An unhealthy creator is filled with just an endless drive to accomplish something that they may never accomplish because they don't figure out what I'm trying to tell you here today. If you want to be a healthy creator, you have to start treating yourself in a healthy way. I was talking with my therapist and I actually developed a scale, and I don't really know what to call it, but it is a visual scale that I will put on the screen now to help you understand the difference between a negative lifestyle and a positive lifestyle. On this scale, what you will notice is that there is a 10-point scale on either side. You have a negative life and a positive life. It goes from 10 to 0 on the negative side and 0 to 10 on the positive side. In the middle of this scale is a rod or a stick or something that gauges whether or not your life is negative or positive. That little rod is 10 notches in length. On a 20-point scale, you have a little notch that measures how your life is going in the middle. On the negative side, how you enforce a negative life, how you reinforce a negative life is self-hatred, obsession, is negative thought patterns. These sort of things will reinforce a negative lifestyle. How you reinforce a positive lifestyle is through compassion, through self-love, through self-awareness, through empathy. These sort of things will push this dial to the positive side or the positive spectrum of your life. So if you're living on the more negative side, where you deal with obsessions and things like that, your dial is most likely going to be on the negative side of this scale. In order to correct that, you need to start thinking about being compassionate to yourself, whether that be compassion towards the mistakes you make, self-love towards your faults, compassion towards little things that you do that you dislike currently, and understanding where that comes from and why you do it. And when you understand why you are the way you are, you will accept who you are, and that dial will move toward the positive direction. The biggest key in order to push your life towards the positive is gaining some self-awareness, understanding why the negative thought patterns happen, why the negative obsessions happen, why the negative things happen in your life, and where they come from. And the way you do that is through self-awareness and being understanding and compassionate towards yourself. When you figure out that, this thing came from the fact that, my dad acts this way, or, I was abused as a child, or, I was neglected as a child, or I was around a lot of drug abuse, this or that, right? Understanding where it comes from and then being compassionate towards yourself, right? Not forcing guilt on yourself, this sort of thing. I hope that scale brings some enlightenment to you as far as negative and positive goes, right? You don't want to be stuck in these negative thought patterns, especially when it comes to content creation, because your life, I lived 3 years like this, guys, 3 years building this YouTube channel, building this brand, obsessing over this ideal, right? And now that I've pulled myself out of the obsessions, out of the negative thought patterns, out of the stress, and I'm actually genuinely a happy person, like my content is a totally different vibe. And not only that, I just feel so much better creating it. And that is going to spread itself, just because, the content is just going to get a whole lot better because I'm just enjoying myself now. So these are things that, we need to think about regarding mental health and content creation. Before we end this video, I want to talk a little bit about what helped me, and maybe, you can think about or relate it to your own personal life as a creator or just as an individual in general. I myself was able to look at everything that was going on and realize, I just looked at it for what it was, and I sat down with it for a minute and I accepted what was going on internally. And I realized that I was stressed. I was angry, and I treated people badly. I looked at the way I was treating my ex-girlfriend. I looked at the way, I treated friends around me. I would constantly, reignite the friendship and then disappear, this sort of thing. And I looked at my behavior and I was able to identify it for what it was. And it was negative behavior. I was stressed, I was angry, I was occasionally depressed, I was treating people poorly. And that was the first step for me as far as seeking help or, resolving this issue of unhappiness and unhealthiness internally. Since then, I've been actively in the gym, I've been actively self-compassionate and loving towards myself. I've also really combated obsessive thought. I really struggled for the past 3 years, obsessing over creating. I mean, literally every single day I would be at work, obsessing mentally about the video I was gonna make after work. I wasn't even there at work. I was stuck in my head thinking about the thing that I was gonna create after I got to leave work. And that obsession literally kept me from living in that very moment. I wasn't even existing in that moment. I was existing in my head. And that existence within my head brewed all kinds of anxiety, all kinds of stress. It also made it hard for people to communicate with me because, I, was head down thinking about this, I got other things on my mind. And the more and more I think about my behavior and the way I was acting and the way I was thinking, I realize how unhealthy that lifestyle was. But it took me a long time through compassion and understanding of where that behavior comes from, why I was obsessing over these things. It was almost like a fight for survival for me. I had to climb my way out of all the chaos of my childhood through this YouTube, through this business that I was creating. And I was stuck in survival mode and essentially just obsessing over this climb, this fight to escape the pain and suffering that I dealt with for so many years. And I finally accepted that that's not how I wanted to live, that I wanted a genuine smile on my face. And I wanted to be able to look people in the eye and say hello and give them a high five or a hug and tell them that, I hope they have a good day and actually mean it. Those are the things that I wanted. And that's ultimately what led me to changing my life. Like, honestly, in the past couple months, I've transformed my entire life. I'm an entirely different person, and I look forward to this year. It's going to be a huge year, an absolutely huge year. And if any of you guys are struggling, like deeply struggling, in this video maybe pointed out some things for yourself, like, oh crap, maybe I am kind of unhealthy, you should genuinely consider calling a licensed therapist and getting some help. It's okay to get help. It's okay to get help. It's also okay to talk about it. We have a very supportive community, a very kind and loving community. So if you're interested in just chatting with some people, some like-minded individuals, definitely leave a comment down below or hop in our Discord server. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. I enjoy making content like this. Let me know if you enjoy content like this, because I do want to talk about mental health. I do want to spend some serious time resolving the problem, or at least helping educate people on the issue regarding mental health, because it's something I struggled with for so very long, that I could really get behind and get passionate about. So yeah, if you guys like this video, make sure you like this video and leave a comment down below letting me know what you think. And last but not least, make sure you hit the subscribe button for more content like this. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in my next video. Peace.